have worked hard in Chicago, played hard in Chicago, and now they're going to tell you all about it. Paul is going to just talk about their experience on behalf of the rest of them.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The vast majority of people I would encounter on a day-to-day basis are from the UK or Ireland, many of them Christian. On the first night, I sat at the dinner table discussing, among many other things, the USSR. Why was this? Well, my host family was Russian. Moreover, I wasn't exactly within my culinary comfort zone. This night was my first experience of Pesach food, as my family was also Jewish. As you can tell, I wasn't exactly staying with the most conventional family on our terms. What I'm trying to get at is, we weren't staying in an environment which was anything similar to what we're used to back home. I use that example because it was the one that I personally experienced, but I wasn't the only one in an interesting household. Each family was different from the other, and on the outset they were all polar opposites to what we're used to here. This may sound a bit intimidating, but as far as we were concerned, this was a good thing. If we were in our comfort zones, something would have been wrong. We were learned to learn from a different culture, so I'm glad we weren't seen from. Over the course of the next 10 days, we participated in a wide variety of activities. Simply too many to talk about all of them. So when contemplating what I was going to say today, I thought, I'll talk about the Highlands. Then on contemplating that, I discovered there were too many of them as well. However, I shall struggle on and endeavour to give you a flavour of what we were involved in. We rather poignantly visited a Holocaust museum. This noticeably affected our hosts, as many of them had a family member or members who were involved. Furthermore, we were guided around the museum by a Rotarian who herself had lived through it. Then there was the Zacharias Centre for Sexual Abuse, another obviously intense visit, where we learned about the healing process for people after suffering severe trauma. The Anti-Defamation League, a wonderful society devoted to the reduction of segregation, where we learned more about our own identity. And I dare say that's a society that many people over here could benefit from. A prison. 2 schools at either end of the social spectrum. Homeland Security. And a court. And the building where all the emergency services are coordinated, to name but a few of our visits. But it wasn't all rest and relaxation. We had to force ourselves to go on a tour of the city, to a comedy club, to a party hosted by the Highland Park president, Bill Pagatti, and of course, Doris's pet hate, shopping. Needless to say, we were fairly busy. By the halfway mark, if it wasn't for excitement, or in my case, excitement and caffeine, we would have been zombies. I think it is safe to say that in Northern Ireland, religion can be a major segregator. Our group was compiled of various different denominations, which we were happy to note didn't affect the group in any negative way, but rather improved it. I'm proud to say that on Easter Sunday, we proved that creating separation over 2 different denominations was truly ridiculous, and that there is in fact a hope for a brighter future for this country. Out of the group's own initiative, the entire group, both American and Northern Irish, decided to have a joint religious service on the shores of Lake Michigan. When I say joint, I don't mean Catholic and Protestant. Also add Jewish and Muslim into the mix. Ladies and gentlemen, if 11 students from 2 completely different worlds, from 3 different major religions, can meet and form close friendships in the course of less than a week, then this country truly can put the troubles behind it and move forward. We didn't let ourselves be separated by our differences, but rather we accepted that we weren't the same, and then we accepted that this wasn't a problem. For something so simple, this early morning, and I really mean early, had a big effect on the group. In many ways, that sums up what we learned from the trip. We understood that everyone was different, but we also understood that this was a good thing, and wasn't a barrier towards working together or getting along. We also understood that through communication and an open mind, people can get on where they might not be expected to. It's difficult to find words to depict how big an effect this scheme had on the 6 of us. But it is undeniable that we have made many strong friendships, and the experience will stay with us for the rest of our lives. We move towards a better understanding. It is now our task to help others along the way. Lastly, I would like to highlight that this is not the end of the book. Rather, it is merely the end of the chapter. We have a group of Americans to look forward towards hosting. And of course, the long and arduous task ahead of us was spreading what we have learned to others. Others who were not so fortunate to see what we have seen. To meet the people we met. To hear what we heard. And most importantly, to learn what we learned. When I said lastly, I lied. In time-honoured TABU tradition, I feel it appropriate to propose a vote of thanks. Firstly, to the Highland Park Rotary Club, who put so much time and effort into our experience. I also feel that Martha Gray deserves special mention for leading that side of the pond. Then to all of you who supported us on this side. We would truly have been lost without our Mummy Doris and Daddy Morris, and of course, good old Uncle Brian. Their commitment and effort did not go unnoticed, and certainly brightened the trip for us. I hope this speech was of some interest to you all. Thank you.